The Great Gatsby is one of the most widely known pieces of literature to date, much attributed to F. Scott Fitzgerald's astounding use of literary devices. One of these literary devices that was heavily used throughout the novel was symbolism, and in this video, I'll be explaining the significance of the telephone within the story. The telephone is a device that connects and disconnects people, and as seen throughout The Great Gatsby, the telephone does just that. It is an item that not only brings people together, but also removes them from their present situation. The telephone also gives people the option to be reached or be unreachable. The telephone is first introduced when Nick is invited to Daisy and Tom's place for dinner. This is the first instance we see where the telephone removes someone from their physical situation that they're in currently to connect them to someone else somewhere else. The butler came in to notify Tom that it was for him. It was his mistress Myrtle calling. Tom excuses himself and goes inside, as Daisy soon follows and others try to listen in. The telephone continued to interrupt the evening, its shrill metallic urgency casting an uncomfortable temperament. Even though Tom is disconnected from the people physically there, he's connected with Myrtle, strengthening their relationship. In terms of bringing people together, the telephone is very effective. In the scene where Myrtle and Tom throw a party in their apartment in the city, they call up all of her friends and invite them over, bringing people together who otherwise wouldn't have had the chance. The telephone is most often mentioned during Gatsby's party scenes, where he is swept away to answer important business calls. The first time we see this happen is when Nick meets Gatsby, and shortly into his conversation, Gatsby is swept away after hearing Chicago is on the wire. Again, we see someone disconnected from their current situation and connected to another one through the means of the telephone. It is also important to note that Gatsby chose to be reachable, even though he was in the midst of a conversation. It shows that Gatsby cares about keeping these relationships with whoever is on the other end of the line, but hurts his relationships with his partygoers, as many of his guests, really almost all, don't know who he is. At the climax of the novel, Gatsby is waiting for a call, or anything from the love of his life, Daisy. As he is waiting in the pool for that call, he is shot and killed by Wilson. Nick can only imagine what the final moments of Gatsby's life were, waiting and dreaming of a life he could have had with Daisy, if only she had made the call, only to never hear it. Although the telephone did not make as many appearances as other symbols within the novel, the significance of the telephone's meaning and its appearances was not diminished. The telephone acts as a way to critique technology and the influence it has on our lives, while providing insight as to how important its presence is.